Welcome to Girl Talk with your host, Melissa Ann. Girl Talk is that show which discusses the real issues Black women face being a mom, a dad, a wife, a girlfriend, a sister, a co-worker, a therapist, or whatever hat Black women wear on any particular day. Why? Because Black women are just dope. Without further ado, here is your host, Melissa Ann.
Welcome to Girl Talk with the Boyz. We got the Boyz here tonight. Mine is one, I think, in our crew. And a few of the girls are absent tonight as well. But we still going to roll on with a good show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a few things. We're going to be talking about mental health and how each of us are doing in the economy, whatever. If it's a recession, we don't know if it's a recession. How we're just feeling overall in general, where we think, what are some of the things that we could do as individuals to keep our spirits and morale up. And then we want to hear from the boys on how they define a sexy woman. What's a sexy woman to you? Down.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Wants to know how men view them. Are they sexy? What that means. So we're going to talk about that. But first, we want to absolutely do introductions. And I'm just going to start over here on my right. We have...
This is Mike B from the ATL coming at you live. Glad to be here.
And brother Razboe, you brother Razboe today.
Yes, I am. And every day.
praise the Lord, brother.
Thank you. Yes, and I do. Brother Razboe, you can call me brother, or you can call me Razboe. I answer both.
What's up? And last but not least, K Diddy in the building.
Always here, a.k.a. Carr, a.k.a. you know who I am, baby. Here to represent. Let's do it.
Brooklyn's in the house. All right, fellas. So who wants to start first? How are you feeling? What's up? What's going on? Every time I turn on the news or look at social media, by the way, is like an emotional roller coaster. You can see something really funny, and then the next minute, something really treacherous has happened. Or someone has died, a celebrity or whatever. Then you see something funny, or then you see something about astrology. So how do you feel? How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I will say there has been, just as you just mentioned, there's a lot going on in the news. Work-wise, I've been fine. Me trying to get a new business idea off the ground has been kind of a little iffy, if I can use that word. Couple little pitfalls I ran into that I did overcome, but I'm honestly a little concerned about the new issues between China and Taiwan for several reasons. So some things like that been on my mind lately, to be honest with you.
With your personal business?
Well, both. You know, being military, I don't feel comfortable thinking about how we can end up in a situation. Even though I'm not in anymore, I don't want to see any Americans dealing with that situation. But the other thing is, for business wise, it's going to affect, what happens with some of the product that I'm actually sourcing out of China. So there'll be some challenges with that. And then also, I think as a global issue, because a lot of things are being done out of China and Taiwan, this can hold up our current situation with what initially was because of COVID kind of putting a halt on a lot of supplies. Now we have another conflict with a country who just wants control over other, countries. So something I've been thinking about.
Michael, is that some of the is that based off of feedback you've been getting from the personnel that you've been conversing back and forth with in your efforts to getting things done? Is that where those concerns come from, or is it more just personal concerns that just from
It's
you paying attention?
Yeah, it's mostly from me paying attention and listening to what's on the news. To be honest with you, my suppliers aren't, I don't think because they don't know what answer to give, they're kind of trying to steer the conversation around that. And that actually has been bothering me when I ask them, you know, if this hits the fan, what happens with my product? What happens with my injection molds that cost me a lot of money to build? How's that coming to play with me getting them shipped immediately from China to United States? They already have my ideas and stuff like that, and that's actually part of the treaty and things that agreements that China had with United States was, them copying a lot of products and stuff. So they have some ideas. They have my idea over here, and they have the injection mold. They literally could take that idea and run with it without us doing anything about it, without the agreement. Not to say they listen anyway, but anyway. So that's one thing. But then also, I just dropped a lot of money to try to get this invention launched, and that truly is a lot of money that I would have just really given away. Over $30,000. I would have literally just given that away. So.
Well, we gonna pray that you don't lose that money and that everything works itself out, or you make it back before shit hits the fan.
Mm-hmm. Amen, sister. Amen. I've been kind of in a little funk lately, and I have no idea why. So I'm reflecting and thinking and seeking introspectively to see if I can put my finger on it. 2.5 years in a pandemic, and every other day there's a new strain. And I just saw a commercial the other day of Pfizer with an oral medication for COVID. And as soon as I saw that commercial, I looked at my mom and I said, they said in the beginning of this pandemic to follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that, Melissa? We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the money. Now they have an oral medication from Pfizer that you have to buy over the counter, that you can buy
What's
over the
it do?
It's for COVID.
Oh, so if you get COVID, you take this oral medication?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a new strand apparently or new virus apparently breaking out in China.
Yeah, then we got monkeypox. So, it's just been a lot going on, and I think life is cyclical. We have our ups and we have our downs. Yeah, so, but I'm good. Overall, I'm good. I'm blessed. I always say every day above ground is a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That means you always have another chance.
Yes.
A new day to start again.
Praise God.
You wake up, it's a blessing. Everybody doesn't wake up every day.
That's what I'm saying. Every day above ground is a good day. That's what I tell myself. When I feel down, I tell myself that every day above ground is a good day, bro. You got yet another day to make it right. Get it together. Mm-hmm. Whatever you're going through, figure it out.
That's true.
I'd rather be doing that than pushing up daisies.
Or taking life for granted. A lot of times we just take it for granted. You take a lot of stuff for granted. Your limbs, even your ability to see. There's a lot of things we take for granted. The ability to go to the grocery store and pick up some damn food. People can't. Everyone is not able to do that right now.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. It's a real heavy conversation, isn't it?
I know.
It is. What we talked about is all a part of our mental health. But I think what's important is that if the listeners are listening, is that our environment is dictating how you feel, like how we take in some of these things, where you really don't realize how much you're ingesting from the environment that really dictates how you feeling as an individual. But Mike demonstrated what's going on in the world is a domino effect. Mm-hmm. Not only is he worried about his business, but he's worried about his fellow soldiers and how it's going to affect the economy. So those things we do carry in our brains and on our back.
You are what you eat.
Brother Razboe.
I've been dealing with a lot of challenges lately, professionally and personally. I'm of the opinion though now. I have been, but it's more in focus for me now. That doesn't what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. The big takeaway though that I have, personally, that I would like to share is I it forced me to change. The challenges forced me to change up my habits. I had some bad habits, like some morning habits that just weren't they weren't good for uh, starting off the day, right? So now I'm more on daily workouts, prayer, meditation in the morning, waking up early so that I could get those things done, and it's helped me tremendously.
Mm.
So I feel as though God has been using these things that have seemed like obstacles and barriers to just
Right.
sharpen and strengthen me, and I'm better for it, and I'm happy because of it. So it's
Yep.
a beautiful thing. So that goes to your point on mental health, and also just how I'm doing personally.
Faith without works
Yeah.
is dead, man. Now he put in the work.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that you taking the initiative to wake up early and push yourself to do those things to make those changes is crucial. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's easy just to lay in bed
It is.
and then get up all
Yeah.
sluggish and do your job all sluggishly,
Yeah.
and now you're sluggish throughout the day, you're ready to get to the end of the day and you're tired, and it's just cyclical.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. It's habits. Building positive habits that uh, the habits that you want that get you the results that you want.
But you know
And
what you
Yep.
have, bro? The
what's that?
willpower. Willpower.
Yeah.
You have willpower, man. I'm telling y'all. People don't realize how rare that is to do what this guy is doing. I mean, if it was easy, we wouldn't have miracle pills and miracle surgeries for weight loss.
Right.
And I was at my doctor's office for routine checkup, and I was like, "Hey, what's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's like a machine, and they put it on you, and it burns fat." And I was like, "What? How does that work?" And I'm thinking to my man, like, "Man, people just want it easy."
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? But this
Yeah.
dude saw some bad habits, and they were impacting him, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to be a man of character, principles, and boundaries, and this is how I'm going to choose to live my life." And he did it.
Yeah, that
That's
is
powerful
commendable.
stuff, people. I'm telling you, that's because that's rare. That's rare. So I commend you, brother Razboe.
Well, thank you.
Brother
Thank you.
Noomski has forgiven you. But that's rare, bro. So that's
I
that's that's no small
yeah.
feat, I tell you.
Well, more the bigger question is, how do you feel?
I feel much better. Like in the beginning of the day, uh, just the fact that I'm getting myself out of bed. Well, take it back a step further. Getting to bed at a certain time, right?
Yeah.
Was the big thing for me. It wasn't necessarily waking up at a certain time that was the big thing for me. It was more like getting to bed at a certain time at night, and
Hmm.
then being able to do that. I feel, and I still feel in the morning that that's a huge accomplishment when I wake
Hmm.
up. So if I wake up 3:30, 4 in the morning, I'm not exhausted and just wanting to fall back to sleep. I'm ready to tackle the day, and when I'm tackling the day, I'm pausing, I'm working out, I'm showering, I'm praying as soon as I wake up.
Hmm.
Which I always did anyway. But after that, I'm working out, I'm showering, I'm meditating, I'm praying, I'm meditating, and those are huge wins
Mm.
before 5 a.m. before
Yeah, no
5
doubt.
a.m., I've tackled pretty much everything I needed to tackle. If God was to
Yes.
take me right then, I'm still good, you know. And then now I could concentrate on everything else I got to do, getting ready. But my stuff is already ready. I'm boom, 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 and then my head is clear. I'm not worried about all the things that could possibly creep into my head and destroy me, you know, like just mess me up and have my brain scattered. So yeah, I feel great. Long
Clarity.
story
That's
short,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
dope,
awesome.
man.
Hands for that one.
Word up. Word up, man. That's dope.
Clap
I'm
your
telling
And
you.
hands.
inspired me.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Each one teach one, right?
Without a
That's
doubt.
it. That's
Without a
it.
doubt. That's why we do this, right, Melissa Ann?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We are lifting as we're climbing. That doesn't have to just be in a corporate environment. We doing
Mm-hmm.
it right here on this daggone podcast.
Better believe it.
I want to say one more thing though. You know, like I've been in this place before, and you know, you can get off track. Or at least, you know, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. You can get off track. You could be doing the right thing for a long time and then get off track for a time. But that doesn't mean that you can't get right back on track. That's all.
That's for sure.
Yeah. It's funny you said, getting off track because I started back with my trainer and I'm like, dang, it's going to take me a whole year to get all this weight off. Don't you agree? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, because you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key. If you're not consistent, it's going to take you longer. If you are consistent and add a little more oomph to it, then it could take you a shorter period of time. But he was just honing in on being consistent, which I'm not. I am with him, but I'm not a person. I'm a big procrastinator, or something else grabs my attention, and then I move on to the next thing, and then I
Yeah.
complain that I don't have the weight's not coming off, or I don't look the way that I used to look when I was younger. But you had to put in the work. You didn't if you're someone who has gained weight. I'm using that as an example. It didn't take you 3 days to put it on, so it's not going to take 3 days to get it off.
That's right.
Real talk
So
tonight,
yeah,
folks. Real talk right here.
I'm actually dealing with the same as far as I just cannot get back in my workout routine. There was a time where I was consistent for almost the full 2 years. I kind of fell off once I sprained my ankle, and then I get back on. There are times where I get on pretty good, but this time right here, I think I fell off. This time here, I fell off the longest, and I'm trying to get back on track. And just as you mentioned, you start picking that weight back up. It takes a lot longer to get it off. One thing I will say is I've gotten to a mindset where you just start just not worrying about, as far as someone said this to me before. They said, don't worry about what the scale says, because as you're working out, even though you might not be able to see it, people can see it. And even if you haven't lost what you want in different areas, your clothes will fall on you in a way where it will let people know that you're doing something about it. But what I've also learned is to take my workouts one workout at a time. So each time I complete one is an accomplishment, and not so much worry about how long I've been doing it and I got this much longer to go. And I know it's hard, but eventually your mind just kind of changes into that.
quite frankly, for me at least, stop being lazy. It doesn't take any energy to go outside and go for a walk around the neighborhood. It just takes getting off the couch and doing that.
Yeah.
For sure. That's real. Life is about choices. And it's a really simple principle. We
Yeah.
get to choose. We get to choose. Everybody gets, growing up in New York, I was offered to become a drug dealer. I saw how the dudes were making money, but I thought about, man, if I didn't, he told me the hours. It was a third shift.
Mhm.
I said, man, I ain't about to miss school. My father will kick my ass. So, the ass whippings paid off because I was more afraid of that than, going to jail.
That's
It's about
deep.
choices, man. Everybody gets to choose.
No doubt.
Yep,
Right.
you do.
I would be careful with the labels though, Melissa. The lazy part. It's a thing. You have to get over a hurdle when you're starting new habits, and it's rough. It's rough for all of us, and I don't. That doesn't make us lazy. It's a tough thing to do to get over those initial hurdles, and it takes time to build habits. And it's
Yeah.
it's not easy to break old bad habits. I see it all the time. I see people talking about they want to lose weight, and then they quickly will grab some candy and snack on it on a regular basis, and it's like that's no small thing. That's a big thing. You gotta break that, and it's not easy to do it. And even that doesn't make you any kind of label. Insert whatever label here. It's just a habit that you built over time, and you're gonna have to break it if you want to reach a different goal, if you want a different outcome. So,
Yeah, but sometimes I'm gonna challenge that a little bit. Sometimes you gotta name it to change it.
but lazy though, I
I
don't
mean,
like the
but you
lazy
gotta,
term.
if you've ever been to therapy and the therapist asks you, "How are you doing?" and you say, "I'm not feeling too good," that's not an answer to them. They want to get to, all right, a name, and
You feel
sometimes you have to
lazy.
name it. Yeah, sometimes you have to name it, man.
Well, I mean, I understand if
You
that's the
know,
way you feel.
I'm not saying that you're wrong and that I'm right. I'm just saying sometimes you have to name it to change it.
Fair
I get what
enough.
you're both saying.
I
I
would,
think yeah, I do. I
yeah,
think
I
you
would
would
give
both
it,
are.
I would give it a different name. But
Yeah,
if
I
that's the way
think
if that's the way you feel in front of your therapist, and when your therapist asks you if you feel lazy, yeah, definitely name it that. But I see it from a different angle, as well, a different
And
perspective.
that's all fair.
Uh,
yeah, I see both. I see Razboe taking it from a kind of like a positive body image type perspective and drawing in some positivity. And I see you, K Diddy, talking about it from a realistic standpoint. What is it from being a realist, right? The
well, I
realist.
didn't
It's
doctor
all
my
it's all
opinion
in
up.
it's all in how you react. What
Perspective. It's
what
perspective.
perspective, but
Perspective,
what
right?
motivates you, what pushes you.
And I
I don't
see.
I don't want pie in the sky. Oh, give it a different name. I'm like, no, get off your ass, dude. 30 minutes, man. And I'm cursing at myself. If you come look at my whiteboard, it says, just get the shit done, son. That's what I wrote on my whiteboard. So when I'm slacking and I don't want to, I look at that. Get it done, man. So I need that. I can't, I don't, the whole, let's ride a sheep on a rainbow. Nah, son.
So you feel as though if you don't do it, you're a lazy person. You would
Well,
categorize yourself as a lazy person. You think that's
I
healthy?
went, I would say that I'm slacking
Slacking.
because I'm making time for everything else. It's all about
Yeah.
choices.
It is about
I
choices.
can sit in this office all day and geek out on my servers and computers and stuff. So I can't take 30 minutes to just ride the Peloton or get on the elliptical back here or go down in my gym that I paid thousands of dollars for to freaking work out and just lift weights for 30 minutes.
Or the memberships I have that collecting dust, they take out my daggone account going to use them. But that, I see both of your perspectives.
Mhm.
I think
Yo,
that
we
we,
got. I'm sorry, Melissa. I
no,
didn't
no,
mean to cut you off.
go for it.
Nah,
Go for it.
like yeah, y'all talk. We're talking about exercise goals right now. But there's
Mhm.
been things that I've let slip that I knew better than to let slip. Accounts I should have closed, things I should have put in place with accounts. Like you could call it lazy. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's the same thing as that. What y'all are ascribing to the workout routine or the lack.
So what would you say if somebody said, Derek? What do you have to do? What name that? What is it that's causing you to be that way? What is that habit? Name it. What would you say? What would you call it?
Wow, I try. I don't know. I never really thought about it. I don't really try to label things like that. But I think lazy is I look at it as a pejorative, and I wouldn't want to put that on
Let me
myself.
Google that one.
as a
Lazy, I mean, I can see where that is a negative connotation, especially when it comes to the black community, right? Because that's a word that they throw on us. So I can see where I need to
So it
take
struck a
that
nerve.
word.
Got it.
Yeah, I got to take that word out of my vocabulary because I'm certainly not lazy. But when it comes to something, I'm a big ass procrastinator. If you walk around that block for 30 minutes, I can find, 10 other things that will fill that space.
Right. Exactly.
But, and so I could see where the connotation could hit a nerve for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it hit a nerve. I'm not yeah.
I'm not saying hit a nerve, but where we need to take it out of our vocabulary. And
I think it would be I think it would be a healthy thing to take that word out of the vocabulary.
Yeah.
As it pertains to yourself. Yeah.
I get it.
That's all.
I get it. I smell what the rock is cooking.
She's picking up what you're putting down, bro.
Hey, that's good.
Picking up what you're putting down. All right, we gotta go to the next topic about what defines a sexy woman. Before I do that, I'm gonna read you an excerpt from my latest book that will be hitting the shelves sometime this year. And I'm gonna show the description of these two women, and then get your opinion on what you think is a sexy woman. Okay, y'all ready? We look dope as hell. The music is fire. We got a buzz on, so let's get it lit in here. You right, she said, dropping a 2-second twerk after her grin. We is fine as hell. We were. Jamela wore tight black jeans, a camouflage belly shirt, a red thigh-high suede boots. Her ombre goddess braids were pulled perfectly into a bun with a bright African print headband circling the front of her head. She was gorgeous. She is already light-skinned with green eyes, so the colors in her headband made her a masterpiece in the room. I didn't tell her that, though, because black women don't participate in lifting each other, but we will join a pity party in a heartbeat. Anyway, I was wearing a short black skirt with splashes of red sparkles. I picked up one from one of those websites like Shein, and it was short enough to see every inch of my thighs, cellulite to offer. I had complimented the skirt with a yellow bodysuit that revealed the curvature of my belly rolls, red sequin mid-calf boots, and my wet and wavy braids were neatly adjusted into bantu knots zigzag through my head. I thought I was sexy until I reviewed my timeline sober. I had the nerve to be walking around taking selfies in the bathroom mirror, all confident and shit like I was Gabrielle Union. I almost puked.
You're a talented ass woman, boy.
Well, thank
you. Yeah, that shit had me like. I was actually picturing as you were reading. I was picturing the shit in my head. I saw the sequin red boots. I saw all of that, son.
So were those women sexy?
Not for me.
So let's talk about it. What do you find? What do you define as a sexy woman? Is it how she walks? Is it the green eyes? Is it how this? I'm not going to go to skin complexion, but is it the her body shape? What?
All of the physical characteristics I find really don't matter. They don't matter when it comes to sexy. Sexy is more how it's put together in personality and with personality. So it's confidence, one, and then two, just how they carry themselves. and how it all works, like how it all meshes with who I am. So it's not like one thing. Like there's I could rattle off a list of things that I think are sexy in a woman, but
Rattle it
at the
off.
same,
I want to know.
it's not PG.
Well, give
But
us. Oh, it's not PG. Okay, all right.
well, it's all the thing. But I would have to go into like very stark detail about physical characteristics, physical appearance, and
Okay, okay, I
all of
got you.
that. And I don't want to give off an incorrect impression. And that's a turn off for me when women do that. When women say like, "Yo, boom, boom, boom," it has to be just like this. Cause I'm like, not for nothing. It really doesn't have to be like that. You'll do something. You'll be with somebody else that doesn't have any of those characteristics. For me, it really is just how it's carried. There are ways to pull off any kind of physical appearance. Personally, that's just how I feel. It doesn't have to do with anything specifically. It's about how the personality works with all of it.
I love that.
Well, compatibility has to be there as well, and I'm a firm believer in boundaries and having my list of negotiables and non-negotiables, and I get to choose and build that list how I see fit.
Okay. Well, define sexy. Is it
Oh
the
well,
span of their hips?
no, I don't really get caught up in the big booties and all that because I wouldn't even approach a woman who had you know surgery. Melissa Ann asked, what do I define as sexy, and it's not monolithic by any stretch, so it's not just one thing. And Brother Razboe said it so eloquently. It's a combination of things. But I can tell you what will turn me off and make you unsexy to me. You don't know how to pick and first of all, back to the BBLs and the fake boobs and all that. You know, everyone looks, but that's not my. I don't consider that sexy.
Mike, you're last one to talk about what do you define as sexy in a woman?
So I do not exclude a beautiful woman's body. So I do have a little attraction to booties. I do like booties, big ones, small ones, just as long as they're
So when
round.
that song came out, I like big butts again out loud. That was all you was jamming in the back.
He
hmm
said big. He
Yeah.
said big ones, small ones. So all
Big
the
ones,
booties.
small ones, just no booties. I don't
Oh,
like no
it's
booties.
a booty man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say that me and Rasbo don't like big booties. That wouldn't be like. But continue because I like big butts too, and I cannot
He.
lie.
I
Oh,
was
I
about
can't
to
lie.
add that for you.
No,
I
I
was
won't
about to add
lie.
that for you.
But I do prefer them to be real, and I don't discriminate against any shade of black. I love all shades of black. But really, what makes a woman very attractive to me is one who is not trying to expose everything on her body. I'm not a fan of that. Um,
Hmm.
I think there's a tasteful way of being sexy and classy without either looking like whatever, like you want everybody's eyes on you. Um,
Hmm.
so there's that, and then there is a level of intelligence that I need a woman to have. I love a smart woman. You don't have to be the most book smart person in the world. I love common sense. I love someone, when I can have a intellectual conversation about whatever interests, um, whatever topics. It could be about anywhere from Black history to politics or whatever. I just like an intelligent conversation. It could be even career advice. Someone could be sharing something about their experience, with me. But there's something about a woman who is very bright and pleasant, um, to have the combination of beauty and humble and pleasant to talk to. That is
level-headed. Got to be level-headed too.
yeah.
You got to be level-headed. It is. I mean, the whole what's
Yeah.
good
What
for
if
the
y'all run
goose.
into these women and y'all be like, "Oh, I'm in love."
Yo, you know
Then
the
y'all marry her and be like cussing y'all out.
Psych! Got him.
well, I think that's just life. But Mike, yo, you hit the nail right on the head right there. I think we all like we combine together like Voltron to really
And
bring
we
it
built the
home.
perfect woman. Yeah, we just
Nah,
manufactured her.
I don't know if we did that. I don't know if we did that. But not for nothing, like I know for myself anyway, you don't know until you know. You know, like so like you can't really manufacture the woman, like you said, Kai, in your head. You have you have your things that you want, that you hope for, and then every once in a while, well, hopefully just once, it clicks, you know, and it just clicks, and that's your lady.
It's called chemistry, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
Right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I have a list of negotiables and non-negotiables.
Chemistry doesn't discriminate. You can have chemistry with someone, but because they don't fit your description of those and have some of those non-negotiables,
Mm-hmm.
you're missing out.
No, not necessarily. You can have chemistry with somebody, and there can still be other things about them that just tips the scale to the other side for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to ask yourself, man, we have chemistry, but this thing here drives me bananas.
Right.
And I talked to her about it. She acknowledges it, but nothing ever changes. So does she even really care about me? That she's not even, So it's like
You men think that way. I've heard it more
I think
times than
people think that way. Women think that way too. I've heard women. Do you even care about me? No, that's not what I'm saying. People, I just think it's people. I
And
don't think we can overgeneralize certain things about men and women because there are some things that are just common between both
mm-hmm.
species.
I was always taught as a young woman when, getting into really deeper relationships, like there are some things like your non-negotiables, but you
Hmm.
have to figure out what you truly can live with because none of us
Hmm.
are perfect
Right? Yeah,
and
of
what you
course.
truly cannot deal
Hmm.
with.
Right. And I'm not saying that I'm not. So I don't want to put off the message. It probably sounds like, man, that guy's so rigid. No, I have negotiables and non-negotiables, and I have to choose what's right for me.
Mm.
Because I might say, you know what, I'm gonna let this slide. But all right, Kyle, but it's been a non-negotiable. Why are you gonna cross your own boundary? So I go into it. My boundary is constantly being rubbed up against, and I'm uncomfortable. And no matter how hard I try, to get over it, just get over it, son. That doesn't work. The only thing that works is removing myself from that.
Yeah. What were you trying to say, Brother Razboe?
I would like to know the same question that you asked of us. What do you find sexy in a man?
Conversation and intelligence is far most important to me. Like I have to be able to hold a conversation about anything. It's really a turn on for me. As far as a man, as someone who is, I don't like men who are um, necessarily drink a lot because I grew up in an alcoholic home. So if I see that you are someone that always drinking, you get pissy drunk, I'm not interested. And then, although I'm a big girl, I don't necessarily like big men, but I don't necessarily am not attracted to bigger guys. I think I like the body frame of my dad, who was really tall and thin. I like some like meat on them, like not meat, but big, but ugh, like that. But far more important is I can overcome some of those things if intellectually I can get with you.
Yeah, That's good. And I would like to hear Mike and Kai's thoughts on Melissa's explanation of what she thinks is sexy, and then I'll follow up after that.
I mean, again, it's all about beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I don't. And I'm sure I can speak for you all. We don't let society define for us what sexy is in terms of somebody we potentially want to get with. I think all of us are way too intelligent, and we've been through some shit, and we know who we are as people, and we know what we want, and so it's in the eye of the beholder.
One other thing I have to add is the person has to make me feel comfortable.
Right.
Like if they don't make me feel comfortable, I can feel it and I will be immediately turned off.
You know what? Remember how I said that there are those things that are common. There's just common between man and woman, and then there are things where men dominate in these categories and women dominate in these categories. Unequivocally, a woman loves a man who's confident, intelligent, and who's exudes power, and not power in such a way where he's ruling the relationship with an iron throne, but he just walks in confidence and he knows his vision and he knows what the hell he wants to do with his life, right? Number two, she just said it. Women want to feel safe with the man that they're with. I've been told by women, when I'm with you, I know I don't have anything to worry about. That's important for a woman, gentlemen out here listening. And then the intelligence. Women love somebody who that they can come to and say, hey, babe, you know how to fix this? Well, you know what? Boom. I've never done this before, but it looks simple. Boom, boom. Women love that shit.
Or any conversation. If I bring up something about, like, all of us we're in here talking about, like, monkeypox. When we were talking about monkeypox, and for us to start to have that conversation, we don't know all the elements of it, but we had a conversation. I need to be able to have that type of conversation with someone. Where even if you don't know, you're going to go to Google on the slide and then start to have that conversation where we could start to have an adult conversation. But don't come to me talking about, you seen this thing on Instagram? It's not going to work.
People want to feel like the other person is interested in them. Me and Mike talk about this all the time. If I'm out somewhere at a bar, wherever, and I see somebody that I'm interested in, I'm going to try to make eye contact to see if there's some cue or signal that it's okay to approach. You feel what I'm saying?
Are we supposed to do that? Because for all of my womanhood, I have gotten that. I just look away. I don't know if we're supposed. I didn't know we were supposed to say, "Hey."
Yes. Well, no, it doesn't have. But it doesn't have to be over the top like that. It doesn't have to be over the top like that. You make eye contact, and you just know. You know. It's hard for me to explain it. It's hard for me to put a name on it, Derek. But
I don't want to be ignored, yo. I don't want to be ignored. That's all I wanted to say.
I think it's confidence. I mean, confidence, not understanding what you want. Because when I was younger, I would say, "Why are they staring at me?" And my daughter gets the same thing.
Why is a man staring at you?
Yeah.
Because he's interested. I mean,
but never said anything, just staring.
The staring is the thing.
No, I disagree with that, Razboe.
Well, it could be something different.
Inviting.
Yeah. With that said, that is all a guy is really looking at. They're looking for you to take that 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds longer to look at them to say you notice them too. That's all.
Oh. Okay.
And that alone is giving a guy the okay to come over. That's it.
Right. That's it. It's that simple.
Y'all just schooling. Y'all schooling people. Now, every woman knows that.
Right, but now, and some occasions, if I'm feeling something, if I'm really feeling that woman, I will go ahead and take the risk and put myself out there. Because I'm not. Yeah, because I'm not afraid of rejection. I mean, everybody's not going to choose me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Rule number one: get over yourself. Because if you're into yourself like that, you're going to always be hurt out here. Because the world is not a nice place, and everybody's not going to be nice.
That's true.
Yeah. That's deep. Y'all schooling.
I'll go with that.
So next time a guy is staring at me, I'm gonna be like, "Tell your daddy I said hi." Tell your daddy I said hi.
She gonna be like, hey.
Kai and them said to say hey.
Mike and them, my brothers and them.
Mike and them.
Mike and them.
Yeah, man.
Wow, what a podcast. This was a great conversation. I totally agree with you, Brother Razboe. Thank you all. This is always the highlight of any given week that we are recording, whether you guys know it or not. I know I'm a pain in the ass to you, but I enjoy these interactions. It really is. It gives me energy. Just having this time with you all. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I do. As always, I see you because I am you. Thank you for listening.
You have just listened to the Girl Talk podcast with your host, Melissa Ann. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play. Until next time, remember, I see you because I am you.